everyone. Welcome to this segment of Let's Talk Real Estate. I'm Ellen Roche with Movement Mortgage, and I'm here with Judy Moynihan from Century 21 Northeast. And we would like to talk today about how sellers can alleviate the problem of not wanting to sell because they're worried about the mortgage rates. Sounds like a good one to talk about, huh, Judy? So we would like to talk about how we can help alleviate that problem. And we're saying that the majority of the baby boomers right now, they don't want to sell, right?
Yep,
What are some
they're a
of
little
the,
stuck, so we need to show them options.
Right. What would you say are some of the reasons they're not wanting to sell right now?
Well, I think they don't have a plan on how they're going to sell. They're afraid that they're buying into homes that are going to be more expensive than what they live in to be what they're looking for. And
they're afraid of the rates.
There aren't a lot of houses on the market too, so they're paying more for those houses.
Right.
And that's what's kind of driving them, and I think scaring them, that they don't know how to transfer the equity that they may have in their current home and other options that they have to purchase that other home.
Right.
And Ellen has a great program that she'd like to talk to you about that I think a lot of people could benefit from.
Right, right. So it's the reverse mortgage. Now, we all have heard about reverse mortgages, but I think that what has gone on is there's a lot of disinformation about the reverse mortgages, when really it can be a vehicle that can really help. So currently right now, we're living in an environment where we have baby boomers, which, I mean, we're basically baby boomers too. But the baby boomers, the age is right around, retirement age, like 62 and beyond. And they just don't want to be selling right now because they're feeling that they can't afford the new mortgage. They can't afford the prices right now. They feel like if they sell, they'll have nowhere to go. Yeah. So let's help them with that with the reverse mortgage. So the reverse mortgage, you have to be 62 years old. And there really is no... you don't have to worry about how much money you make or what your debt is, because there's really no qualification other than you have to be 62 and you have to either own your home now or you will be owning your home.
So they could be on Social Security income.
Correct, exactly. So how it works is they want to sell their home. So they're going to sell their home, and they're going to take the equity they make from their sale and they're going to put it towards the new home, but they're going to buy the new home with the reverse mortgage. And with the reverse mortgage, there is no mortgage payment other than your taxes and your insurance. So they can live comfortably, and in some cases, they can also get a monthly stipend, or they can put money in like an IRA. A lot of financial planners like this plan because they're saying at 62, if you do this, if at 62 you put you buy a new home and you do the reverse mortgage and you don't have a principal interest mortgage payment, you can take that money and you can now reinvest that into, a retirement plan. Yeah. People are living a lot longer today than they were in the past. So it's only going to help. It's just a great vehicle to help the homeowner feel comfortable. My parents did this, and my parents did it. And what are some of the people? Some of the negatives people talk about is they say, like my mother at first was like, "Well, we would like to leave our home to you 4 kids," and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, great. Us 4 children, we're going to fight about no, we don't care about the equity in your home. We want you to be happy now. We want you to enjoy your life now."
Yes.
That's what's more important. So my parents did a reverse mortgage. They're very happy. They're going on 15 years of having the reverse mortgage.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And they've also refinanced. When that value started to go up, they actually refinanced, pulled equity out so they could add that money to their monthly living, income. So it's been
smart planning.
It has been for them, and for so many others. I've seen it work so well. Now let's also talk about what happens when the homeowner can no longer live there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a reality.
Yeah.
Nobody lives
'Cause
forever.
this is an older generation.
Right, exactly.
Talking about.
So what's going to happen? So, the heirs are not going to be stuck with that debt. If, let's just say, the value is not there when it comes time for them to have to sell. They're no longer living in the home. They have to sell. And let's say the amount that they owe is more than the amount that it's worth.
Because you've pulled all that out on that monthly statement.
Exactly,
Okay.
right. So how that works is every month when they're not making that payment gets tacked on to the end of the loan, to the amount eventually owed. So that's where I think people get really confused and they get nervous. But what's going to happen at that point is they're not going to owe, the heirs are not going to owe that money. They're not going to get stuck with that. What's going to happen is whoever the servicer or whoever the reverse mortgage lender is, they're going to now have to sell that as a short sale. And we're all familiar with short sales.
Yeah.
It happens. So but let's also talk on the flip side, especially in these markets where the value seems to be increasing. Like, for instance, with my parents, if they could refinance again because the values have gone up so much. Right. So what happens if I had to sell that right now? We could sell it and we'd be avoiding a lot of the, and that's where you'd want to talk to a financial planner about what happens at that point, but it's all positive. It's like there's nothing negative about the reverse mortgage. It's only positives. So it's definitely worth talking about.
Yeah.
Like, do you see that it could help some of your sellers?
It's a good option to tell them about, because I've been getting a lot of calls lately about just that I have a lot of clients that are just in these big, huge homes and the kids have moved on.
Yeah.
And they don't see that option from one to the other. So I definitely would encourage you to consult a financial planner, talking with a mortgage lender that's done it, that knows the ins and outs, so that you can understand it better.
Right.
And then consider it. Put it into consideration of the rest of the stuff
Right.
you do.
Know what your
because
options
it might
are.
really work for you.
Right.
A few other things that I thought about reverse mortgages weren't true. I
Yeah.
thought, what happens when you get to that value? Do you have to move out? What if they're 78 now and they have to move out? And I guess part of this mortgage is, no, you don't. It just keeps tacking on.
You're
and
totally protected.
the value is the value when, they pass and then you can no longer live in that home.
You're not going to get kicked out.
And I'm sure everybody has their little individuals, because everyone owes different amounts of money and different questions and different needs. So meet with someone that can really guide you in the right direction and not just take information that you're seeing, of course, from the internet or even other people that have done it, because their situation is different.
Right.
Meet with a professional.
Exactly. And talk to the financial planners. Most financial planners think this is a wonderful idea.
It's part of the team.
Right.
You need a team.
Because you can take that money and reinvest it.
Yeah.
You can, one of the things that one of the big things that people have talked about that they've been bothered about is they'll say, well, we still have to pay our taxes and our insurance. Well, yes, you own a home.
Yeah.
So I guess it's either, you own the home and you pay the taxes or insurance, or you have to go into a place, like assisted living or something like that. I know most people would rather own their own home and stay in their own home.
To move over to an assisted living without a long-term care policy is about $5,600 a week.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense.
You got room and board, you got food, you've got nursing care.
Yeah. So the
expensive.
reverse mortgage is definitely a vehicle that's going to help so many people, and it's also going to free up this market. So now the baby boomers sell, and now those first-time home buyers can come in and they can, they can take advantage of that. The market's not going to change until we see more housing for sale.
Yeah, so people can move. They're kind of stuck right now.
It is,
but
yes.
in our area, because I always like to talk about Haverhill, Bradford area to our local community, our values have gone up so much that this really is even a better deal to consider.
Right.
as it
Yeah.
would be in other areas where they've kind of haven't gone up so much. But I think they've gone up enough that you're going to, a lot of people don't know the equity they have in their home. I'm surprised at how many people I actually tell that are very, very surprised.
Right,
And I tend to
exactly.
go a little modestly. When I say
Right.
you can get, $550 for the house, we market it correctly, we're probably looking close to $6.
Right.
And they're just blown away by the $550. It's
Right. And then you have the people that they're excited about that, but then, and I
don't
see
know
this
what
all
to
the time,
get to the next.
when they go over the numbers for the new house, because the houses are expensive.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a $600,000 home and you're going to put $200,000 down. You're still looking at a very high mortgage payment for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially people that are on a fixed income.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, we can't
That's not going
afford
to be
that.
an option for them. They need another option.
This is for them. This reverse mortgage, now all they need to pay is going to be the taxes and the insurance. And in a lot of cases, they're going to have enough equity where they can, add to their monthly income, because they can take money from the reverse mortgage and they can add that to their monthly income that's coming in.
Yeah.
It's just a great option.
It's a good plan.
It is a good plan, absolutely. Now, there's other things that people can do right now too. They can, if they don't want to do the reverse mortgage, they can certainly tap into that equity.
Yep.
And they can do what's called a bridge loan. A bridge loan is something where you can sell, and you don't have to be 62. You don't have to be a baby boomer. You can be
It's
anyone.
how you live in one house and you buy another
Right.
house without being afraid that you're not going to have anywhere to live.
Right,
Because
exactly.
people just really picture themselves
Yeah.
not having anywhere to live in
Right,
between. And I
right.
bring up bridge loans a lot. So if
Yeah.
you could explain those.
Yes, the
that would
bridge
be
loan.
great.
It is where you're going to get a loan for the new place, but you're not going to sell your other place, but you're not going to have a mortgage payment on the one that you're currently living in. So the one that you're going to sell, you're going to keep that until it's time to sell.
Yep.
So you're going to buy the new place and you're going to use that equity, and we're going to give you a bridge loan, that's what it's called. But you're not going to have a payment on your old home. So that's all, it gets incorporated into the bridge loan. You have a certain amount of time, I think it's up to 6 months.
It's a long time.
It is a long time.
Because usually they've found their new house.
Right.
They just don't know how. When I say we got to
Exactly.
put the offer in, and they're like, well, I don't have any money.
Right.
I haven't sold my house
Right,
yet.
right. So this is going to help them do that. So all they have to care about on a bridge loan is, do I qualify for the new mortgage? And as long as they qualify for the new mortgage, it doesn't matter that they have a mortgage still.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be taken care of with the bridge loan.
And they're thinking they're paying 2 mortgages.
they're
Okay,
not.
now I got to pay the mortgage on
Yeah,
this, and I
they're
have to pay the
not.
mortgage on that, and they don't.
No, so the bridge loan allows you to buy the new house and not worry about the house you want to sell.
Yeah.
Now you can just sell
Gives you
it.
time to get it in
It
order and
does.
sell it.
Yeah, and you don't have to make a payment because it's being added into the bridge loan.
Yep.
So that's a great option.
Yeah.
Some people, though, they don't like that because they look at it and they say, well, I really don't want to be borrowing money to pay my mortgage. So instead, let's just do an equity line. Let's take the equity line out. Let's buy something and let's rent out our house for now.
Yep.
They can do that.
Yep.
They can rent. I have quite a few people that have
Yeah.
done that in this past year,
Yep.
where they're saying, you know what, we're just going to rent it because you can get a lot for rent
Yep.
right now.
Or they have someone they're going to rent it to, or they have a family member they want to rent it to.
Right.
That works out great.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to rent it,
That's what I've found.
and that rental income is going to cover their old mortgage,
Yep.
and now they can buy the new one.
Yep.
And eventually, maybe they'll rent it for a year, and eventually they'll sell.
Hmm.
But at least now they're settled in their new
Yep.
home. They've rented the other one out. Yeah, that's another
Well,
great
with the inventory
option.
so low, what I'm seeing is a lot of clients have wanted to buy condos because they want the HOA, they want, those services, the landscaping and things, and their kids can't find them. So they're selling their homes to their kids, and they're the ones that are going, that gives them the opportunity to get into another house,
Right.
a condo, usually something smaller. And now the family that's needing the bigger home now, because they've had a couple kids,
Right,
they're moving, seeing a lot of them move into their parents' homes or grandparents' homes.
right.
Because you
And
can't find anything else.
You know, and that's funny you say that, because that's another thing I'm seeing. We're seeing a lot of the baby boomers wanting to move closer to their kids now, right?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
want
yeah.
to be closer. So
Close, but not too close.
right. They want to live in their own home, right?
Yeah,
but they
want
want
to give
be in the
everybody their
same-
independence.
Yeah, but they want to be in that same general area.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of people relocating, you know, that maybe they were in Florida. They're relocating back here because
Far places.
yeah.
More so than ever since COVID.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's definitely alternatives right now. And I think, you know, what the big thing is just getting people to understand and informing, and, you know, knowledge is key.
Yeah.
You know.
Another thing I'm seeing also too is you can direct them how to do this is they want to put in-laws onto their homes, and they're allowed to do that a lot more. I have a client right now in Kingston I met with yesterday. She's selling her house. They're putting an addition onto the parents' house because they need it for the child care needs too.
Right.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah, I know.
And then
I know here in Haverhill they changed the zoning to
make it a little
accommodate
easier.
that.
To
Yeah,
accommodate
absolutely.
your parents coming home or the families just expanding. I'm all for the families being closer and helping out. It helps out so much. I've always said, thank God for grandparents.
Right. I'm one, and I help out all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's rewarding.
And
though.
so where can they get the money to do that, Ellen? If they want to like sell the house they're in and then help the parents, say, well, just give you X amount of money from, the younger ones don't have a lot of the equity that the older generations have. So, you know, Mom, I'm going to give you, I want to put an in-law apartment on your house.
Right.
How do I do this?
Or what they can do too is they can, the baby boomer can sell their house, right? And now they're taking all their proceeds and they're going to, you know, whether they're going to buy something with their kids or their kids already own something, and now they're going to take that money and, you know, do the addition.
What they're doing now, the kids are selling, taking a little bit of their equity, they usually don't have enough, and want to put an in-law apartment on the mom, and don't want to put the whole burden, want to finance it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so they'd have to grab that money, use that.
Right.
Or that wouldn't be really the reverse, but
Not
different
really a
options. You'd have to
reverse,
sit
but
down and
it's,
consult individually,
right,
which everybody should do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's all individual too. It's what do you need? Like,
everything's different. No two transactions. I mean, they're same but different.
Right, exactly.
And everyone has your different needs. So you don't be afraid to call people ahead of time and just tell them what your plan is.
Right.
And we're more than happy to sit down and walk you through it. We do it over and over.
Right,
but
right.
that would be your best bet, is really go straight to the professionals and ask them, you know, what are my options in this situation? This is where I'm looking to go to. And we always can come up with a plan. They think it's not doable, is what I hear a lot.
Right.
They don't see it happen, and I have to reassure them that this is doable, and this is what people do all the time, every day.
Absolutely. You know what? Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
It's a lot of work and it's scary, but once you got that plan down, it's not so scary.
Right.
You see it happening.
Oh, I see it happen all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely.
I see it happen all the time too.
Magic happens when...
Put it out there, that thought. And I tell
yeah.
my clients, I had one, she goes, thank you so much for doing that. And I had to say, Colleen, you did it.
Right.
I remember meeting you and you telling me your story on where you wanted to go. And I could see that passion in your eye. And I knew it. And we did it exactly in 6 weeks before you were there to have that surgery that you needed. And just sit down with us. We'll map it out for you.
So there are options. There definitely are options. And we're here to help.
Yep.
So I hope you enjoyed this segment of Let's Talk Real Estate. And until next time, stay well.
Thank you.